The first $100,000 is brutal. Then everything changes. The slow part nobody warns you about. Alex sends $500 a month into investments. That's $6,000 a year. Alex works all year to put in that $6,000. Someday, the portfolio might move by more than that without Alex adding another dollar. So when does that happen? People call $100,000 the number where everything changes. It points to something real, but it might not even be Alex's real turning point. At the start, Alex supplies nearly all the forward motion. The first dollars carry almost no weight. Think about Alex's first $10,000. It took ordinary paychecks, automatic transfers, and choices nobody else sees. Not everyone has the same room to save after bills, debt, or family needs. Equal discipline doesn't create equal investable surplus. For Alex, that first $10,000 isn't one big move. It's $20 left over here, a skipped takeout order there, and a transfer sent on payday before life finds another use for it. Some months, the transfer feels easy. Other months, it feels almost rude. The car needs tires. A friend gets married. Rent climbs. The grocery bill suddenly acts like it went to business school. Alex still sends the money, because the plan only works if it keeps going when the month feels ordinary and when the month feels messy. That first $10,000 carries a lot of decisions inside it. Nobody looking at the account sees those decisions. They only see 5 digits on a screen. Alex sees the weekends worked, the side hustle money, the times a purchase stayed in the cart, and the little argument in Alex's head every time investing meant saying no to something now. So when Alex finally reaches $10,000, it feels huge. It should feel huge. Alex personally manufactured almost every dollar in that account. Then the portfolio has its turn. At $10,000, Alex is still the engine. Use 7% as an illustration, not a promise. At $1,000, that is about $70. At $10,000, it is $700. At $50,000, it is $3,500. Same percentage, different pile of money underneath it. $700 is real money. But Alex puts in $6,000 over the same year through work, restraint, and the same automatic transfer. That mismatch can feel discouraging. The money isn't broken. There just isn't much money underneath the percentage yet. Compounding has already started. It's just not loud yet. Keep that feeling in mind. Much later, that same $10,000 will mean something completely different. Why $100,000 feels different? Charlie Munger called the first $100,000 a long struggle for most people. That feels true, because you keep saving while the account still looks small. Still, $100,000 isn't magic. The market doesn't spot 6 figures and hand out a better return. What changes is the dollar amount behind the percentage. Use 7% as an illustration. On $100,000, a positive year adds $7,000. Alex adds $6,000 across a whole year. Sit with that for a second. Alex works every month to send $500 into the account. There are 12 paydays behind that $6,000. There might be overtime behind it, a side hustle, or a budget that leaves very little room for random spending. Then, in a positive year, the investments can add more than Alex's 12 months of saving. Alex didn't work extra hours for the $7,000, or find room for another transfer. The money already in the account did the work. That isn't a paycheck. Markets move around, and a bad year can take value away. Still, after years when every increase came from another transfer, that comparison feels strange. But wait, if $7,000 beside Alex's $6,000 explains the feeling, then $100,000 isn't really Alex's number. The famous number only looks special because it happens to sit near Alex's own contribution level. Somebody saving a different amount has a different comparison. Alex's balance only needs to reach the point where a possible return can match Alex's own yearly contribution. So the useful question isn't, when will I hit the famous number? It's, when could my invested capital do as much work in a year as I do? Your real turning point depends on you. There's a simple way to estimate Alex's crossover point. Take what Alex adds in a year, then divide it by an assumed return. Alex contributes $6,000 a year. Using that same 7% example, $6,000 divided by 0.07 comes out to about $85,700. That's the rough balance where a 7% positive year could add as much as Alex adds through 12 months of transfers. Not $100,000, about $85,700. That number isn't a finish line. It's not even a prediction. Markets don't hand out 7% every year, and they definitely don't schedule it around Alex's automatic deposit day. Still, it changes what the famous $100,000 rule really means. The rule isn't about a specific pile of money. It's about a relationship between labor and capital. At around $85,700, in this example, Alex's existing capital could potentially keep pace with Alex's annual effort. Alex still matters. The monthly transfers still matter. But Alex no longer supplies every bit of progress alone. Think about two people who both open an app and see exactly $100,000. Jamie adds $3,000 a year. A hypothetical 7% gain equals $7,000. More than twice Jamie's yearly contribution. For Jamie, capital can potentially dwarf new deposits in a positive year. Morgan also has $100,000, but Morgan adds $30,000 a year. That same hypothetical 7% gain still equals $7,000. It's a nice amount, but Morgan's work supplies far more new money than the portfolio did. Same balance, completely different reality. That is the real crossover. It isn't a badge you earn at one famous number. It shifts when your income changes, when your savings rate changes, or when you choose a different return assumption. It can move around because your life moves around. Now make Alex save more. At $1,000 a month, the illustrative crossover rises to about $171,400. At $2,000 a month, it rises near $342,900. That sounds wrong at first. Saving more should bring the turning point closer, right? It can bring the balance closer in calendar time. But it raises the balance capital needs before it can match you, because Alex's own yearly contribution became a much harder worker to beat. Picture Alex doubling the monthly transfer from $500 to $1,000. Alex is not losing ground. Alex is putting $12,000 a year into the account instead of $6,000. That faster saving can build the balance much sooner. But capital now needs to produce $12,000, not $6,000, before it can tie Alex. The finish line moved because Alex became faster. More saving doesn't put Alex behind. It just changes the contest. Once the second worker can keep up, what happens when it carries more? At $250K, capital pulls ahead. Now let Alex's account reach $250,000. At the same illustrative 7%, a positive year could add $17,500. Alex still adds $6,000. Capital has decisively overtaken Alex. Around the crossover, they worked side by side. Here, the portfolio can add nearly 3 years of Alex's usual contributions in one positive year. Alex's deposits still build the base, especially in rough markets, but capital now drives more of the movement. Capital is finally doing more of the work. Okay, there's something I need to ruin before we keep going. At $500K, the second worker can push back. At $500,000, the second worker becomes hard to ignore. A 5% gain is $25,000. A 7% gain is $35,000. A 10% gain is $50,000. That's why the account stops feeling like background noise. It can move by the cost of a car, a year of tuition, or several years of saving. A positive $50,000 year feels exciting because Alex remembers what $50,000 used to mean. The first $50,000 probably didn't show up all at once. It took years of transfers, market moves, and staying with the plan when the account looked unimpressive. It may have taken longer than Alex expected. Most people don't build that amount by finding one clever trick. They build it through time and repetition. So imagine Alex checking the account after a rough market stretch. Nothing unusual happened in percentage terms. The portfolio fell 10%. On $500,000, that puts minus $50,000 on the screen. But percentages don't care which direction you prefer. Turn the same account around. Down 5%, minus $25,000. Down 10%, minus $50,000. Alex knows, logically, that a 10% decline can happen. Alex may have read about risk, seen old charts, and understood that investments can fall. The math isn't new. The dollar amount is new. At $10,000, a 10% decline means $1,000. That hurts, but Alex can still see it as a number that fits the size of the account. At $500,000, the number pulls an old memory into the room. Alex doesn't look at minus $50,000 and calmly think normal volatility. Alex thinks, that took me years. That is the collision at the center of this whole story. For years, Alex wanted the portfolio to become powerful enough to matter. Alex wanted something besides the monthly transfer to push the account forward. Alex wanted the second worker to stop carrying paper clips and start carrying boxes. Then it does. And now that worker can pull backward with the same strength. Early on, the problem is that nothing moves. Later, everything can move too much. That shift changes the emotional job of investing. When the balance stays small, patience feels hard because the effort seems invisible. Alex sends money every month, watches the account inch around, and wonders whether any of this can ever become meaningful. Once the balance grows, nerve feels hard because the movement becomes visible in a way that can feel personal. A normal market decline can erase an amount Alex associates with years of choices, work, and waiting. The percentage may look ordinary on a chart. The dollar amount can feel like a punch in the stomach. A $50,000 decline means the portfolio's market value fell. Not that Alex paid a $50,000 bill. Still, your brain sees years of work. Alex needs cash for near-term needs and investments that can stay put through a drop. So a bad market doesn't force a sale. The plan needs to exist before the number on the screen starts looking like years of Alex's life. Early wealth building tests patience. Later wealth building tests nerve. Neither stage feels easy. The first stage asks Alex to keep going when the account barely responds. The later stage asks Alex not to panic when the account responds too much. Both stages come from the same source. Capital has more power as it grows. A stronger worker carries more weight in both directions. At $1 even 1% has a job. Remember how long Alex worked for the first $10,000? That $10,000 didn't feel small at the time. Alex had to manufacture almost every dollar. It carried paychecks, skipped purchases, automatic transfers, and all the months where progress looked too slow to be exciting. At $1 million, 1% is $10,000. 1%, a number so small it barely gets your attention on a chart, can now equal an amount that once took Alex years of steady saving to build. That changes how a person reads a statement. At the beginning, Alex might check the account after months of effort and celebrate crossing $10,000. It is a real milestone because Alex knows exactly what it took to get there. At 7 figures, the account can move by that same $10,000 between one statement and the next. It can happen on a normal market day. It can happen in either direction. Alex may not even remember the exact reason by dinner. That doesn't make $10,000 meaningless. It makes the scale different. The number still pays for real things in real life. It can still mean months of rent, a car, a medical bill, or a year of contributions for somebody earlier in the process. But inside a $1 million portfolio, it becomes 1%. The first $10,000 felt enormous because Alex had to build it almost dollar by dollar. At $1 million, $10,000 can become routine movement. Yesterday's milestone becomes today's movement. No balance fixes everything. It only changes how much financial breathing room capital may help create. Building the worker. Maybe your account holds $5,000, $20,000, or $50,000, and it feels quiet beside real life. That quiet doesn't mean it's broken. Right now, Alex supplies most of the propulsion because the second worker is still being built. Every contribution adds another piece of the engine future returns can work on. A small portfolio isn't failing to compound. It hasn't built enough capital for compounding to become loud yet.